Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the English Listening Podcast. I am really happy to have you here today because we are going to talk about something almost everyone has experienced in some way: love. Love is one of those words that sounds simple, but when we really think about it, it becomes much more complicated. We use the word love to describe romantic feelings, friendship, family, kindness, passion, and even the things we enjoy doing. We can say that we love someone, love a song, love a place, or simply love a quiet morning. But does the word mean the same thing in all these situations? Probably not. Throughout history, people have tried to understand what love really is. Philosophers have written about it, poets have described it, scientists have studied it, and people everywhere have created songs, stories, movies, and traditions around it. Some people see love as a powerful emotion that can change your life, while others believe love is more about choices, actions, trust, and commitment. I think one of the most interesting things about love is that there is no single experience that works for everyone. Some people fall in love quickly, while others need a lot of time to build a connection. Some people enjoy romantic relationships, while others find their deepest sense of love through family, friendship, or caring for others. In this episode, we are going to explore different ideas about love, some of the types of love people commonly talk about, and why love can be both beautiful and challenging. So, make yourself comfortable, take a deep breath, and let us talk about one of the most powerful and mysterious parts of being human. It can also be helpful to remember that love is influenced by culture, family experiences, and personal beliefs. What feels romantic or meaningful to one person may feel completely different to another, and that variety is part of what makes human relationships so interesting. One interesting way to understand love is to recognize that it can take many different forms. Romantic love is probably the type we hear about most often. It can include attraction, affection, emotional closeness, excitement, and the desire to share life with another person. However, romantic love is not always the same as the intense feeling people experience at the beginning of a relationship. In the early stages, everything can feel exciting because we are discovering someone new and paying close attention to the things we like about them. With time, that excitement may change into a deeper kind of connection based on trust, understanding, shared experiences, and commitment. Another important form is the love between family members. Family relationships can be complicated, but they can also provide a strong sense of belonging and support. Then there is friendship, which is another powerful form of love. A good friend can know you deeply, listen to you, make you laugh, and stay beside you during difficult moments. There is also self-love, which does not mean believing that you are perfect or putting yourself above everyone else. It can simply mean treating yourself with respect, accepting that you have weaknesses, and recognizing that your needs and feelings matter. Some people also talk about compassionate love, which involves caring about other people's well-being and wanting to help when someone is struggling. These forms of love can overlap, and one person can experience several of them at the same time. What I find beautiful is that love does not have to look dramatic to be real. Sometimes it appears in a hug, a message asking if you are okay, a meal prepared for someone, or simply staying and listening when a person needs you. Sometimes people confuse love with attention or attraction, but they are not necessarily the same thing. Attraction can begin a connection, while love often grows through time, shared experiences, and the way people treat each other. There is also an interesting question about whether love is mainly a feeling or a choice. At first, love can feel completely emotional and almost impossible to control. You may suddenly feel attracted to someone, think about them often, or feel excited when you see their name on your phone. But healthy relationships usually need more than strong feelings. Feelings can change, especially when people are tired, stressed, disappointed, or facing difficult periods. Choices and actions can help create stability when emotions are not as intense. Choosing to communicate honestly, listen carefully, respect boundaries, apologize when you are wrong, and support someone during difficult moments can all be expressions of love. This does not mean staying in a relationship that is harmful or accepting disrespect. Love should not require someone to lose their identity, ignore their needs, or tolerate abuse. Healthy love usually includes respect, trust, freedom, and the ability to be yourself without constantly feeling afraid. Communication is also important. Two people can care deeply about each other and still misunderstand one another. That is why talking openly about feelings, expectations, problems, and needs can make such a difference. People also express affection differently. One person may show love through words, while another prefers actions, time together, small gifts, or physical affection. Neither way is automatically better. The important thing is learning how the other person communicates and finding ways to understand each other. In the end, love is not only about finding someone who makes you feel something powerful. It is also about building a relationship where both people can grow, feel respected, and feel safe enough to be honest. That is why love can be both a feeling and something we practice. The way we behave when nobody is watching can reveal a lot about how deeply we care. Small, consistent actions often communicate more than dramatic promises. Love can also teach us a lot about ourselves. Caring deeply for someone can reveal qualities, fears, insecurities, and expectations we need to understand. Sometimes people expect love to solve every problem in their lives, but a relationship cannot magically remove loneliness, insecurity, or personal struggles. A partner can support you, but they cannot live your life. This is why having a sense of identity outside a relationship can be so important. Your friendships, interests, goals, family, education, work, and personal dreams are still part of who you are. Love can be healthier when two people choose to share their lives rather than depend on each other for everything. It is also normal for love to change over time. Some relationships last for many years, while others end after a shorter period. An ending does not always mean that the love was fake or meaningless. Sometimes people grow in different directions, and sometimes a relationship teaches us something that stays with us long after it ends. Losing someone we love can be painful, but it can also remind us how deeply human connections affect us. Love is not always about keeping someone forever. Sometimes it is about appreciating the time you had, learning from the experience, and continuing to grow. We should also remember that love exists beyond romantic relationships. The love we receive from friends, relatives, teachers, communities, and even kind strangers can make life feel warmer and more meaningful. A simple act of kindness can stay in someone's memory for years. Maybe that is one of the reasons love is so difficult to define. It can be an emotion, an action, a connection, a responsibility, a memory, or a decision, depending on the situation. We can also learn from relationships that did not work out. They may show us what we need, what we value, and what boundaries are important to us. Growing from those experiences can help us build healthier connections in the future. As we come to the end of today's episode, I think the beautiful thing about love is that we do not have to understand it completely to experience its value. Love can be exciting, peaceful, confusing, painful, comforting, and sometimes all of these things at once. It can teach us to be patient, to communicate, to forgive, to set boundaries, and to appreciate the people who make our lives better. But perhaps one of the most important lessons is that love should not make us forget ourselves. You deserve relationships where you can be respected, heard, and accepted. You also deserve friendships and family connections where you can be yourself without pretending to be someone else. And if you are not in a romantic relationship right now, That does not mean your life is missing something essential. There are many ways to experience connection, affection, friendship, and belonging. Your relationship status does not define your value. I hope this episode has given you something interesting to think about and has helped you learn some useful English along the way. After listening, you can think about what love means to you and which people make you feel appreciated and supported. Sometimes we spend so much time looking for big romantic moments that we forget to notice the small acts of love already around us. A kind message, a sincere conversation, or someone simply being there can mean more than we realize. Love does not have to be perfect to be meaningful. Real people have disagreements, bad days, misunderstandings, and moments when they need space. What matters is how people handle those moments and whether they continue to treat each other with care and respect. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, please like the video and subscribe to Sally Lessons for more English listening practice. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself, appreciate people you love, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful day.